Hello, my name is Shane McKinley. It is Tuesday, September 29th. I hope that you are enjoying the compilation. The following was written by Kaya Vakil on September 18th, 2020. He writes the following. It's still hard to grasp how much suffering the U.S. has experienced this year. The United States will soon reach a grim milestone, 200,000 American deaths from COVID-19. That's 200,000 mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, daughters and sons, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, cousins, friends, and community members who've lost their lives due to the novel coronavirus in just over 6 months. The number is staggering. It's a number that's hard to fathom. It's more than 67 times the number of Americans who have died during the 9/11 attacks, and more than 3 times the number of people lost during the entire Vietnam War. Even if we sit with that for a minute, it's still hard to grasp just how much suffering we've experienced this year. Our brains struggle to process tragedies and suffering on that scale. When we often view one death as a tragedy, we struggle to conjure the same reaction to death on such a massive scale. They become a statistic. Quote, "If I look at the mass, I will never act. If I look at the one, I will," end quote, Mother Teresa said. As the number of U.S. deaths soared over the summer, the nation seemed to adopt this mindset. We compartmentalized. Collectively, led by the federal government, the U.S. response to such incalculable loss appears to have been to ignore, downplay, or normalize it. So that was written by Mr. Vakil. In my hands here, I have a list of names of Americans who have died from COVID-19, which I will read out loud. This information was available freely on the internet. You can see the sources if you click on the description below of this YouTube video. So if you click on the description below, there's links and I'm citing my sources, so I'm not just pointing this out thin air. This list is not complete. I apologize that I will not say all 200,000 plus names. That's just not very practical. I will say 424 names. 424 out of 200,000, which is about 0.2%. I will also apologize ahead of time for mispronouncing some of the names. I can't speak very well. I will also focus solely on Americans. I know that this is a worldwide pandemic, but the focus is right here in the good old US of A. The reason for this video is that in these times, especially in USA, we can ignore what doesn't directly affect us. We can pretend that there haven't been 200,000 Americans who have died from this disease. That it happens to other people, not us. We can say that this disease is a big old hoax, that those who have died had pre-existing conditions, such as compromised immune systems, a weak heart, etc. We can say that only old people get it, and ignore that Cody Leister died at 21 years old, Charlotte Figge died at 13 years old, and Skylar Herbert died at 5 years old, all due to COVID-19. This video is not directed towards people who may not agree with my worldview. If I help for one to broaden their horizons, see things clear, and we connect for the power of music, that's great. That's real cool, man. But I don't have that much hope for it. During these compilations, I know that some people don't pay attention to the lyrics. They listen to a song for like 5 seconds, like, I don't like that. And I know that not every song on this compilation is going to be your cup of tea. I get that. But what I'm trying to do is trying to make a connection. I'm hoping that at least the Barbados thing worked and hopefully connected you at some level. This video is not directed towards the current president who, to me, does not really care about if us little people die from this disease. Shrug of his shoulders. Nothing he can do. The stronger survive, the weak get cold, the weak get separated from the shaft, and now there's more parking spots available. He said, quote, "It affects virtually nobody, ... old people, ... that's it." Once again, links are available in the description below. I'm citing my sources. This video is directed towards the dead. It's a hell of a thing to find out that, to some, you never really existed at all. And that bothers me. And this is just my small part of just putting out there in the universe that these people mattered. They did. Here are the names. Abraham Vega, Adam Schlesinger, Adrian Gomez, Akbar Nuruddin Shabazz, Alan Finder, Alan Hurwitz, Alan Merrill, Albert K. Webster, Albert Petroli, Albert Rotura, Aldo Bazzarelli, Alfredo Papato, Alice Guzman, Alan Y. Lu, Angel Escamala, Angel Leon, Angela Russell, and Nick Just Dumb, Anita Fial, Ann Sullivan, Anna Levine, Annie Glenn, Anthony Carsey, Anthony M. Hawkins, Anthony Smith, April Dunn, Arlene Saunders, Armit Harrison, Barbara Kaplan, Barbara Kostikian, Baruch Haviv, Ben Luderer, Benjamin Smalls, Benjamin G. Adkins, Bernard Phils Amy, Bernard Walded Sr., Bernice Silver, Bernie Rubin, Beryl Bernay, Beth Salmiski, Betty J. McBride, Betty Tapley, Bill Mack, Bishop James N. Flowers Jr., Bob Barnum, Bobby Montgomery, Bradley Fields, Brandis Camp, Brenda Perryman, Brenda Ravenel, Brian R. Miller, Bruce Myers, Bruce Williamson, Brian Fonuska, Bucky Pizzarelli, Carlos DeLong, Carol Krieger, Carol Brookins, Carvel H. Moore, Cedric Dixon, Charles Kleinberg, Charles Peterson, Charles Rob Roberts, Charlotte Figge, Cheryl Catron, Shantanti Tiki Jackson Harpole, Chris Mondell, Chris Tosadell, Christina Rainey, Cleon Boyd, Cliff Martin, Cody Leister, Colonel Stephen Del Heisler, Colette Lamoth Galette, Conrad Iffil, Corliss Henry, Curtis Tapley, Daisy Dornola, Dan Spector, Daniel Francis, Daniel Zane, Dariana Dyson, Daryl Johnson, Darius Settles, Dara Checketts, Darren Adams, David Conkey, David Driscoll, David Sackhoff, David Toran, Deborah Henson, Deidre Edwards, Dolores Dockery, Dennis Nagel, Des Ann Romaine, Dobie Dobson, Dolores McCurry, Donald D. Petrillo, Donald Kennedy, Donald Reed Herring, Doris Brown, Douglas Hickok, Dr. Alice Guttati, Dr. Barry Weber, Dr. Eddie Negron, Dr. J. Cost, Dr. Julie Butler, Dr. Richardo Castaneda, Eddie Germain, Edith Richmond, Edna Adams, Eduardo L. Ganaco, Ellie Saviner, Alice Marcellus, Erica McDew, Eric Lloyd, Eva Conrad Hawkins, Evan Caro, Federico Asseri, Felicia Campbell, Ferdy German, Fernando Mitif, Floyd Cardoz, Francisco Scopo, Francis Frank Bella III, Francis A. Kennedy, Francisco Mendez, Frank Colata. Frank Gibran, Franklin Williams, Franz Neuwendam, Fred the Godson, Fred Westbrook, Frederick Ocran, Gary Tibbetts, Gary Walker, George Longorio, George Valentine, George Wolfe, Gerald Glitzen, Gerald Williams, Gil Bailey, Gilbert Ponlaco, Gladys Cortez, Gregory V. Armstrong, Gregory Hodge, Haley Herrera, Harold Blake, Harold Davis, Harold Wernig, Harvey Feldman, Harvey Hirsch, Hecky Powell, Helen Jones Wood, Henrietta Boggs, Henry F. Graff, Henry Grimes, Herbert Burt Heaney, Herman G. Carrillo, Hillary Gregg. Horace Saunders, Hugh Fryer, Adris Bay, Adris Love, Isaac Flores, Isaac Robinson, Israel Saz, Israel Tolenti Jr., Jacqueline Cruz Towns, James Charlie Mahoney, James Tutti Robbins, James Brown, James Coronichia, James Harris, James Powers, James S. Harrison, James T. Goodrich, James Villico, James Wilson, Jana Price, Janice Presell, Janice Hargrove, Jason Stein, Jay Benedict, J. Natalie La Santa, Jeff Bagby, Jeff Hopkins, Jeff Kurtzman, Jennifer Arnold, Jerome Rice, Jerry Gibbons. Jersey Golowaski, Jimmy Glenn, Jimmy Shaw, Joan Swanson, Joanne Melody, Joan Diffie, Joe Hansen, Joel Kupperman, Joel M. Reed, Joel Revson, John Jack Taylor, John Driscoll, John Eric Swing, John Horton Conroy, John Leake Jr., John McCormack, John Fowl, John Prine, John Rakin, John Red, John von Sternberg, Jonathan Adumi, Jose Diaz Ayala, Jose Fontes, Jose Marquillo Reyes, Jose Torres, Joseph Cavalieri, Joseph Costa, Joseph Feingold, Joseph Magalucci, Joshua Obra, Juan Macheca, Judith Conkey, Judy Wilson Griffin, Julio Guzman, Kamal Hamed, Catherine Kitty Hoffman, Colleen Dillard, Keith Redding, Kajon Bates, Kenneth Lewis, Kenneth Saunders III, Kim King-Smith, Kimberly Neugen, Chris Kelly, Landon Sprouden, Lanika Barksdale, Larry Edsworth, Larry Rutgeff, Lee Kantz, Lani Jordan, Lenora Faye Garfinkel, Leon Boyd, Leoto Dooley, Leroy Lucio, Leslie Leake, Louis Conkey, Leah A. Fenwick, Lillian Eckstein, Linda Renee, Lloyd Porter, Loretta Mendoza Dizenoso, Lenika Schwarzer, Lynn Jones, May Hodges, Madeleine Kripke, Madhavia Aya, Marcia Sasser, Margaret Holloway, Margaret Shaw, Margaret Feldman, Maria Mercader, Maria June Skender, Maria Pino, Mario Argio, Mario Cesar Romero, Marian Wernig, Mark Barsanuk, Mark Blum, Mark Ramonio, Marlene Sekapanika, Marnie Hexon, Xiong, I'm sorry, I can't say that. Martin Douglas, Mary Ellen Porter, Mary J. Wilson, Mary Roman, Mary Beth Papiti, Mary Lou Armour, Melford Henson, Michael Armstrong, Michael Clegg, Michael Connors, Michael Hockleyus, Michael McKinnell, Michael Sorkin. Michael W. Lewis, Michael Young, Michelle Villarreal, Mike Longo, Melina Janik, Mohammed Chowhuri, Morris Hood, Otokako Fushio Hoofwait, Muriel Calander, Miles Coker, Nassim Wooden, Nathal Bertley, Nelson Henry Jr., Nicholas Rinaldi, Nick Cordero, Nikki Leak, Nikimia Thompson, Nina Povodio, Nita Pippins, Noach Deer, Norman Gullumarian, Nur Omar Mohed, Nyla Moore, Obina Eck, Orlando Mondia, Oscar Rocha, Otida Livia, Patricia Bosworth, Patricia Frisian, Patricia Weisenborn, Paul Carey, Paul Friskorn, Paul Logan, Paul McCurry, Paul Sheldon, Peter Armatis, Peter Bainham, Peter J. Brancisio, Philip Kahn, Philip Perry, Prey Nakishore, Quentin Weist, Rabbi Yosran Friedman, Raphael Liriano Black, Ralph W. McKee, Raymond Copeland, Raymond Kenny, Raymond Solowinsky, Reggie Bagala, Renata McGuire, Renee Dermott, Reno Boffley, Ricardo Valderrama, Richard Barber, Richard D. Liberto, Richard F. Fno Jr., Richard Passman, Richard Seabury, Rita Kozlov Nadler, Robbie Waters, Robbie Brown, Robert Condorna, Robert M. Longan, Robert Rhodes. Robert Washington, Romy Cohn, Rome Golden, Ronald W. Lewis, Roy Horn, Rufus McGlennon Jr., Sally Raleigh, Salvatore Capi Capozzola, Sam McGee, Samantha Diza, Samantha Hickey, Samuel Hargis Jr., Sandra Gaines, Sandro Santos Vesquino, Scott Geiger, Sean Boynes, Shannon Bennett, Sharon Williams, Sylvia Mendes, Sister Angela Marie Rooney, Sister Georgiana Close, Sister Patricia McGowan, Skylar Herbert. Stanley Chera, Stanley Moser, Stephen Kazhoz, Stephen F. Williams, Sterling McGee, Steve Zolowski, Steve Hahn, Stuart Cohen, Susan Rokas, Susanna Papato, Superlative Bud Fokan, Tadashi Tofura, Tarlek McNaglalis, Terrence McNally, Theodore Gaffney, Thomas Cook, Thomas Ward, Tom Seaver, Tommy Brown, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Sucre, Tony Greer, Tyler M. Gurry, Valentine Martinez, Valentina Blackhorse, Valerie Zane, Vanice Skikes, Vicky Gibbs, Vincent Barber, Vincent Bonwinski Jr., Violet Saunders, Waldemar Gonzalez, Wallace Roney, Wanda Bailey, Wayne Reese Sr., William Heinrich, William Morris, William Purcell, Willie Doria, Willie Levy, Wilson Germain. Wogonin DeBelly, Win Hanman, Yakov Perlo, Yasmin Painting, Yu Luhua, Yupadi Koba Bonsuri, Yavis Emil Sugai, Hilvan Shorel, Zhao Makambi Sr. I'm very sorry I couldn't pronounce all the names correctly. Thank you for listening.